All right, yep. Hey, shalom, shalom. First of all, we want to give all praises, honor, and glory to Yahweh, Bashem, Yahushai, Bashem, Rakat, double honor to the apostles, elder bishop, the great millstone. Peace and blessings to you fellow brothers pushing out this word in truth and sincerity. It's a couple of brothers from the San Francisco Bay Area camp coming together in the spirit of Yahweh Shai to edify the elect. I'm the brother Chanak.
I'm the brother Chsaba.
And we want to go into this lesson. I titled this lesson, Famine Will Bring an Attitude Adjustment. Okay, famine. I believe last week we kind of went into the famine of the word.
Mm-hmm.
But this week I kind of want to touch on the actual famine of bread and water, which is going to bring a heavy attitude adjustment for you people, especially here in Babylon the Great. I mean, all around the world, but in different places of the earth, they kind of know how to survive. What they're not in excess like here in America in these first world countries, the West. In certain countries, yeah, you could say that. I mean, famine is going to really hurt a lot of people, but mainly speaking about here in Babylon the Great, how great it's going to be, and how it's going to be an attitude adjustment. Okay, for you Israelites, some of you, the Lord's gonna have mercy on, but a lot of you, you're gonna die of that famine. Okay, so let's okay, the inspiration, I was actually watching the the elder bishop Manasseh, and he was going into the famine today. The famine will be a game changer if I'm not mistaken, and that kind of sparked me. I was going to do the lesson earlier, but the spirit got me and this brother. We gonna just roll in the spirit, okay? Because that's also on the table. That's not off the table, and that's going to be that's a that's big. I believe is that Second Ezra 16. Many shall die. There be many that
That
shall
shall
die.
perish with famine.
Yeah, let's actually get that
Yep.
first.
Second Ezra 16.
22.
Yep.
Yep. Let's go. Start at 19. No, we start at 18.
Okay.
And we'll read down, and then we're going to go into Ecclesiastes, the 39th chapter. Okay, go ahead.
This is
Oh yeah, I'm sorry. And we have an article as well going into food shortages, so we'll touch on that as well. But let's get this scripture first.
Con. Second Ezra 16 and 18. It says, the beginning of sorrows and great mournings, the beginning of famine and great death.
See, famine is a big part of why there's going to be mourning in this land. Go on YouTube. There's so many people that just eat on camera, and they'll make money doing it, or they'll go on reviews and get the chicken and waffles and say, okay, this is it bussing or is it disgusting?
Mm-hmm.
You got people that actually um, create different dishes and sell the recipes, okay, or people that just put on chicken or steak or even pork on the grill and they'll film it. Okay, it's all, I mean, it's all type of food. People doing challenge eating 1,000 chicken nuggets in 30 minutes. There's channels of people actually eating 100 wings, doing food challenges. That's how much excess food is here in Babylon the Great, and really, it's cheap.
Mm-hmm.
It's really, the food is really cheap if you really think about it. I mean, it's really not even food. It's not. That's why it's so cheap, because a lot of it's processed, a lot of it's fake, a lot of it's chemical induced, but it is relatively cheap. You can't go nowhere else in the world outside of the West, meaning Europe, okay, America, Canada, Australia, but mainly here in America, where food is in excess so much, and where people waste food so much. Okay, go ahead.
It says, the beginning of wars, and the power shall stand in fear.
Right, the Ukraine thing, right? That was a big scare of it bringing in famine because Ukraine is the breadbasket of the world. Okay, not only do they have a lot of the wheat that they supply to different parts of the earth, but they also supply the fertilizer in that region,
Hmm.
which all these crops, the reason they need fertilizer because the so-called white man in modern farming agriculture, he doesn't allow the land to rest, so it doesn't rejuvenate, so you actually have to artificially put nutrients back into the soil. Like if you have a house plant, right, and you're not overwatering it, but and it starts to die, it's probably because there's no more fertilizer. All the nutrients is out of the soil. Remember, it's in a container. So as it photosynthesizes and it grows new leaves, it'll stunt its growth because there's no nutrients. Just like our body need nutrients. So what you'll do, you'll put worm castings or you'll put a fertilizer during the growing season, right? Which is that those nitrates, the magnesium, the copper, and all that the body need, okay, in order for that plant to grow. So the same thing with the crops. So famine is also synonymous with war, okay, because when these wars actually, when it gets really hot, these nations are going to stop trading. That's going to be devastating. Go ahead.
It says, the beginning of evils, what shall I do when these things shall come?
Yeah, and the beginning of evils, because people are going to get real evil during that day. They already hangry out here. If these people don't eat 4 or 5 times a day, they don't have their breakfast in the morning, they don't have their coffee, they don't have their cigarette. Are they're unbearable person to be around with? They're not pleasant to be around with. Why do you think there's so much road rage? Why do you think there's so much, civil violence? Okay, then they got critters living in them, parasites. They're hyper parasitic, super parasitic on the inside. Those parasites craving those foods, those saturated fats, those hydrogenated oils. Okay, those high sodium, high sugar foods. Okay, and they affect the mind. Go ahead.
It says, behold, famine and plague, tribulation and anguish are sent as scourges for amendment.
Continue.
But for all these things, they shall not turn from their wickedness.
So as these things are going on in the earth, okay, different plagues, food shortages, and then when it actually comes in its full perfection, the people are not going to equate these things as they were being wicked and that they need to repent. They're going to try to sidestep the judgment and try to find out new ways of how to feed themselves. Well, they're going to go, they're going to eat each other. That's how bad it's going to be. Go ahead.
It says, nor always be mindful of the scourges. Behold, victuals shall be so good cheap upon earth that they shall think themselves to be in good case.
And this is what the people believe. They think that they're in a good case. They think that in their mind, famine has never crossed their mind.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, because food is so plenteous. I mean, you gotta think. There's so much food out there. Just think, all these restaurants that are open, they all are packed with food every single day. You have shipments coming in every single day to replenish their stock. You go down to the Indian restaurant, right? You want the goat curry, you want the tiki masala, you want the naan bread, right? You want the aloo gobi, you want the rice and potatoes and cauliflower, you want the tandoori chicken, you want the marinated lamb. You go to the Afghan place, you want the Afghan food, the marinated lamb and the chicken and the beef and the brown rice or the white rice, and you got the bread, you got the salad, okay, you got the lamb shank, the Mediterranean food, Chinese food, right? Same, you want sushi, you go to a sushi restaurant and you can order 10 different items and you know what? They can all come out with that item. And you can do that every day. You go to 7-Eleven, you get the big gulp, they never run out. The bag of chips, all these convenience stores, all type of bag of chips. All these liquor stores, all type of liquor. So these things are constantly being filled every single day. There's shipments coming in. So it looked like it's like, damn, the food is endless. You go to a chicken place, you get you 100 pieces of chicken. You're like, damn, there's that much food, and people are doing that all around the world. So there is no shortage of food right now. So people think that they're in a good case. That doesn't even come into their mind. Mm-hmm. That there can actually be a famine. Eggs are still coming, even though it might have been inflation. They're still here. Milk is still coming in. Okay, sugar is still coming in. Flour is still coming in. Produce is still coming in. Salmon is still being caught and brought into these stores. You go get you some. If you right now, you can go to the store and get you some salmon. You can have either somebody cooked it already, pre-made. You go to a restaurant, have them cook it, or you can go to the store and you can buy it. You can marinate it. You need the spices. You need the cumin. You need the coriander. You need the salt. You get you a big ass bag of salt, big ass bag of pepper. You need the turmeric, right? You want some potatoes. They got the white potatoes, got the red potatoes, got the yams, the purple yams. Okay, the sweet potatoes. You got the red onions, the white onions, the yellow onions. You got the scallions. Okay, you got the pearl onions. You got the white rice. You got the jasmine rice. You got the brown rice. We can go on and on. You can constantly fulfill whatever you want. Pasta. You want pizza. You want chicken. You want burgers. You want hot dogs. You want sausage. You want bacon, eggs. You want pancakes. You want waffles. So these people, like, I've been eating my whole life. I've been going to restaurants my whole life. I go to the grocery stores, always packed my whole life. It's very few times where a place doesn't have food. And you know what? I'll just go somewhere else. McDonald's is open 24 hours. Jack in the Box is open 24 hours. Okay. I get my hash browns. I get this. I get that. Right? Go ahead.
Real quick. It made me think about something, how these people that they're constantly seeing over and over endless food. It's no scarcity, which and then turn it that through that repetition, it builds a habit. They have a habit of constantly seeing that food. So there comes a mindset that's built behind that. I searched up how many days do you do something until it becomes a habit, and this is what I got. It says on average, it takes more than 2 months before a new behavior becomes automatic. It says, and how long it takes a new habit to form can vary widely depending on the behavior, the person, and the circumstances. But the behavior, what's being the subject here is food. So people are like you said, constantly having that fulfilled. Their mindset is toward this. Like the lesson is, famine will bring an attitude adjustment. Their whole mindset is, oh well, the scripture said it. That they shall think themselves to be in good case, because you're seeing it every single day. It's not in your mind. Oh, what if it ain't no? Why would that be in your mind when all you see day to day for years is nothing but food, shelves stocked, piled.
Lobster, steak. Then you go on these social media platforms, and you could go in the corner of those platforms where there's nothing but food videos. Either people making food, people eating food, people doing reviews on food. You want noodles, and so people will tell you how to make plant-based burgers, plant-based meat, how to turn mushrooms and walnuts into sausage, and whatever fruit, how to make fruit salads, and how to incorporate fruit into your diet, how to do different smoothies. Oh yeah, just go down the store, get you some coconut milk, get you some almond milk. How to make soy milk yogurt, how to make lentil tofu. You can make sushi at home. All you do this, do that, do this, do that. Here's this ingredients for chana masala. Here's this ingredients for lentil soup. Right? Rice pilaf. right? You want some salmon, fried salmon bites. You want to make your own fish and chips. All you get you some sweet potato starch, get you some flour, get you the seasoning, get you some malt vinegar,
Mm-hmm.
get you the oil. Yeah, you use the avocado oil. So you go to the store, you got hella choices. You got grapeseed oil, avocado oil, olive oil, canola oil. See what I'm saying? Oh shit, walnut oil.
Mm-hmm.
You get all types of just 10 different types of rices. Okay, apple, the Granny Smith apple. Okay, the green apple, the yellow apple. You know, the crisp apple, honey crisp. What do you? It's all type of different type of cucumbers,
Mm-hmm.
and that's what Jake when Jake was coming out of the Exodus, out of Egypt. What's one thing they were complaining about was the food, because there was no food and water. The Most High was testing, proving Jake, and Jake was murmuring. Those heathens were murmuring. The mixed multitude were murmuring, because one thing they had, that comfort came in what? Food. Food is a comfort. Shit, you sit down, you have a great meal, that calm your spirit down.
Mm-hmm.
See what I'm saying? You got some good food that calm you. Tacos. Everybody like tacos. Some birria. You got the consomme. You got the cheese quesadillas, right? Nachos. You get the pretzel bites. You like snacking on popcorn. All that shit's getting ready to be taken out.
Mm-hmm.
all
Hey.
that all that shit is getting ready to be taken out of the shelves.
Mm-hmm.
Attitude adjustment is coming, and that's when you're going to be able to think. You're going to be able to actually meditate upon your situation, how much hell you're catching, and what do I need to do next so I can eat.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
It's it's even more cold because Esau has put them in a trick bag. They can only imagine what they could see through advertisements, and just like you said on YouTube, through these different ways, all they see is food. All they see is consume. Like they show you in that movie They Live. When it was food advertisements, basically it's just it says consume. So you go from seeing this every single day to it's no to it's little food left to now we don't know where we finna get our food. That, like the brother said, that's gonna be an extreme shift in the mind, to where
And yep.
you got it.
No, and those still those habits of consuming is still going to be there, but it's going to be no food.
Mm-hmm.
So you've already been programmed, okay, to consume. Wake up, I'm hungry. That's not even a hunger feeling.
Right.
That's a demon. More likely parasites. But you've been socially conditioned, okay, to eat a big ass breakfast filled. That's why you got so many problems. A big ass breakfast filled with fat, meat, egg. You eating, bro? You eating sausage or bacon or both. You having toast, more likely white toast. Well, okay, sourdough, whatever. Right? You having eggs, at least 2 to 3, 4 eggs. Right? You having some pancakes or some waffles. And then, oh, you can't forget about those hash browns. You know that shit tastes good. That's hash browns. You got your ketchup. You got your hot sauce. Or maybe you made a Denver omelet. A ham and cheese omelet. Right? Then you had the mimosa, or you had your orange juice, your simply orange juice.
Mm-hmm.
You got the syrup. All that food is literally killing you, but you're addicted to those foods. So what happens when all that shit is done?
Mm-hmm.
Okay, even the ability to cook the food, there will be no more gas. You turn on the gas, turn on electric. Now ain't gonna be none of that. Now there is gonna be some type of normalcy in the last days. You're gonna have certain cities that are gonna be running like these 15-minute cities. But guess what? You're gonna have to have the MOTB, and everything's gonna be based upon your MOTB. Okay, you can run the water for 5 minutes. That's connected to the MOTB. They'll turn your shit off. You can eat so many bug burgers, or you might have your ration of meat. Your ration of meat, is once a month. a little piece of genetically modified chicken,
Mhm.
lab grown chicken. You're gonna cherish that too. Okay, go ahead, bro.
Con. The last thing I will say though is just like you said, that breakfast, everything that you just described, they're gonna top it off with some type of drink that has high levels of caffeine, which shows you
Yep.
that that food don't even fucking sustain you. You
Yep.
know.
Yeah, that coffee or espresso.
Mm-hmm.
When you get tired, you eat a big ass breakfast like that, bro. You gonna be done.
Yeah.
You eat if you eat clean food, you eat clean food and you feel rejuvenated. If you eat heavy food filled with saturated fats, high cholesterol forming foods, bad oils, high sodium, high sugar, low fiber, highly inflammatory, acidic. Because the body can handle the inflammatory response or the inflammatory response. The body can handle acidic food, but in its proportion.
Mm-hmm.
You give somebody a plant-based diet, or mainly your diet, your main diet should be plant-based. You should be eating at least 70% plant-based that's every day. You should be eating nuts, seeds, legumes, lentils, okay, which are beans. Beans and lentils should be a bulk of your protein. Mushrooms, okay, whole grains, okay, with the fiber still intact. Black rice, red rice, quinoa, couscous, kamut, okay, chia seeds, flax seeds. You should be eating lots of berries. They build the brain. They build the immune system. A lot. Oh, apples. People don't like apples. Are high level to bulk up the stool. You having digestive problems? Eat 1 or 2 apples a day. You'll start that pectin. Pears, same thing. Melons, very hydrating. Okay. So I mean, jalapenos. Cooking with different spices. You make you some chickpeas, some chickpea curry. You know what I mean? You can make you some flatbread. I mean, you get you some brown rice. I mean, it's so many things. It's so many things we can do. You know, but this, quick American society. I get it. Hey, we all fall victim to it. We all. Hey, I'm guilty too. But
Right.
we gotta do better. But our mindset is that the Most High is gonna take all this shit off the table. Okay, the Lord gonna take all. He gonna take all the food. You gonna lament, especially these women. You gonna lament. Okay, and this is gonna be one of the biggest reasons why people are gonna line up to take the charagma. Okay, because you're gonna be tempted. The Most High is gonna prove you through the food, because the food is an actual necessity. This is it's no compromising. There's a certain amount of time you can go without it, but ultimately there is no compromising with that. Even the Lord knows that. Okay, the Lord. So what does that mean? For His elect, He gonna feed them. He gonna give them water. Okay, He gonna give them drink in excess. But go ahead, keep going.
Continuing, Second Ezra 16:21, it says, "Behold, victuals shall be so good cheap upon earth that they shall think themselves to be in good case.
Mm-hmm.
And even then shall evils grow upon earth, sword,
Mm-hmm.
famine, and great confusion."
Right, like you were sending me some articles. Women escapes being kidnapped from. You know what I mean? Like these are unprecedented evils that are happening. Oh, there was a woman killed her 2 kids or something. I mean, shit, I forget. It's so many of them.
Right.
It's like one after another. You know what I mean? Serial killers, serial rapists.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, and there's a lot of crimes that that are not solved. A lot of people that come up missing that are not solved. Unsolved cases. People just coming up missing. People road rage that turns deadly. You know, crashes on the freeway, crashes. There's a lot more airplane crashes now, and a lot of these things where you're seeing on the internet because people are streaming it. People are actually videotaping it and uploading. Like you had the black woman that was on the freeway out here that was just shooting at
Mhm.
cars, butt naked. Who's like 20 years ago that wouldn't have happened. So as evils are multiplying on earth, they can't even see these things. Famine's multiplying. Okay, death is multiplying. Okay, the scriptures say because of iniquity shall abound, the love of many shall wax cold. Okay,
Mhm.
go ahead.
It says, "For many of them that dwell upon earth shall perish of famine."
There we go. That's the point. Many people upon earth, not just here in America, but around the world, because famine is going to hit these poor countries first. It's going to hit Africa. It's going to hit India, right? Asia, the Asian continent, the African continent, Central South America. It's going to hit them before it starts hitting Europe. Well, what's going to happen is all these stronger nations, they're going to be hoarding food. They're going to hoard food, something called protectionism, where they're not going to be exporting their food anymore like that because we gotta eat this food. So they're going to hoard food. So only these rich countries, these strong nations, they're going to have more of a food supply. But the poor people, they're still going to catch hell within those cities, within those countries. But what is that going to do? It's going to bring in an influx of migrants. They're going to be looking for food.
Mhm.
So it's going to cause all type of chaos. Okay, that's why I tell you, 2 Ezra 15, how men are going to go house to house because of tribulation and the lack of bread. I'm telling that the famine will bring an attitude adjustment. People are going to be different. I'm telling you, people are going to look completely different when they haven't been eating like they used to. And see, they're going to, like the scripture saying, I believe it's Isaiah 32, about the woman, they shall lament for the teats
Mm.
and for the pleasant vines, right? They're gonna lament for all the luxury and the excess. They're gonna be like, damn, we had it good, right? But in the very near future, where you all you have between you and your four people in the house is a banana peel, and you're fighting over the banana peel, okay, or a ketchup packet. People dying over a ketchup packet. To where now, shit, now we going, hey, people are like, fuck it, I'm eating human meat.
Mhm.
We're coming into that time. Well, you was done on that?
Nah, it's still a little bit more.
Okay, go ahead.
It says, "For many of them that dwell upon earth shall perish of famine, and the other that escape the hunger shall the sword destroy."
Yeah, so okay, so look, say somehow, some way you escape the famine. Maybe you had a bunker with food that you was eating, right? To all you preppers. Well, ultimately you're going to be destroyed by the sword. Whether somebody comes into your compound and destroys you with a sword and takes your food, okay, or you get hit with the glittering sword, okay, which is the thermonuclear fire, okay. But hey, it doesn't matter. You're still going to be judged. Okay, you can catch a disease to where you can't even eat the food, or your food, it can spoil. Those roaches and rats and maggots, they could have spoiled the food, so now the food is not even edible.
Mhm.
And then you're going to have people that's going to be eating rotten food, and then they're going to drop dead because of the rotten food. So it's going to be a very, very treacherous and terrible time. That's why Ezra's, when you go up one verse before we start, it says, woe is me, who will deliver me in those days? Okay, I want to share my
Well,
screen.
I will say this as well. Like the type of violation that these people are in, like you brought up the eating of rotten food. See, death is gonna be easy in that day. Many
Yeah.
people are gonna seek death, and guess what? Your ass not gonna find it. You're gonna try to blow your head off, and that gun gonna jam on you. You're gonna try to eat. You're gonna try to overdose on pills, and you just gonna fuck yourself up. The Lord gonna keep your spirit in your body. You eat
Mm-hmm.
some rotten shit, you just gonna develop a vicious disease, and the Lord keep your spirit in your body. You know, death is gonna be an easy. You gonna be considered blessed if you die in that day. You're gonna have people suffering, man. The Lord's gonna keep spirits and bodies. Hey, what the scripture say? Fear not him that is able to kill the body, and after that, that's it. But rather fear him that's able to kill the body, and deliver your soul in hell. Meaning the body that you in, man. The Lord keep your ass in a body that ain't even really supposed to be inhabited. The Lord keep your ass in that body, man. You playing with how about Shem Yao Shai?
God. Yeah. Hell. And that's what's many great miseries, Second Ezra the 8th chapter. But we're reading in Second Ezra 6. I mean, Ezra saw a lot, as well as a lot of the other prophets as well. They saw the ultimate judgment, but look at their hurtful works. So the Lord, he gotta take you out.
Right.
And he gonna do it. He gonna not just with a gun, okay, boom, you die. Nah, you gonna suffer. So this article that the brother sent from shefinds.com, 14 foods you may not be able to buy in the grocery store in 2023. Stock up before they're gone. So they're already pushing out that hoarding mentality, and ultimately, brothers, get a little extra food. That's wise, you know what I mean? But really, we're just going to depend on Yahweh Shemal Shai.
Right.
Because there's really no out. When you really look at it, there's no other way out. See what I'm saying? There is no other, because you can store food. Again, the food can go bad. You might not be close to that food. You might not have the ability to eat you know what I mean? So ultimately, we're going to depend on Yahweh Shemal Shai when these shortages come. Okay, and that's where the faith comes in. And we're speaking about these things now, all right, and reading the scriptures and preparing our mind for these things to happen. Because when you go in the scripture, you just do a word search for the word famine. It's going to come up multiple times in the scriptures. So there's been instances where a lot of people died because of famine. Okay, so let me just kind of breeze through this article. We'll read some of this.
And then too, you got articles like this that say, oh, you need to stockpile up on this. That leads to panic buying. And you know what panic buying leads to? That shit being gone. You got it though, brother.
Yep. It says this article has been updated since its initial published date to include new shortages, including sriracha. And this was July 31st, 2023. So this was like 2 days ago. When heading into the second month of 2023, it's best to be aware of certain food shortages. We rounded up 14 common grocery store items that might be more difficult to find in your local supermarket than others this year, so that you can stock up on them now. Here's what we know about potential future shortages. And a lot of these people, they're insiders that tell you these things. They understand they're whistleblowers, if you will, or they give their prediction, their profits on the left hand side. They'll tell you, yeah, it's going to be famine, it's going to be this. The whole time they're part of the orchestration of these famines. So even Fox News is in there. But see, people are not taking these things into consideration, nor are they listening to them, because when you go to the grocery store, it looks just like this. It's stocked up. Okay. I mean, certain items might not be there too much, but for the most part, you eating, you good. You go through, like right now, me and his brother, hey brother, let's go to a little restaurant. We're gonna go there and they're gonna have all the food. And we can order in excess shit. And as long as we have the ability to pay for it, they'll bring it out. If we want, look, we want 1,000 chicken wings. If we call up Wingstop and say, hey, look, we want 1,000 chicken wings, we having a party, they gonna do it. They gonna have them wings.
Yeah.
They're not gonna say, now we don't have them. Very rarely. Okay, very rarely. Maybe it was the end of the day. The stock. Somebody. It was three other parties that ordered 1,000, so they was kind of low. Maybe they can just give you 500, right? It says It says food fears. The worst is yet to come. The farm workers say. So these are different quotes from farm workers. Okay, bread, as reported by Mashhead or Mashed, with the continuation of Russia's war in Ukraine. See, look at that. Look at that. We read about how these things are going to bring in war as well. This war is going to be one of the main excuses why the elites are going to bring a famine, because they just can't bring a famine. They got to give an excuse why the famine, is taking place. Oh, war. War is a perfect way to bring famine and to bring in rations. World War One, World War Two, there was food rations. Go banking rates notes that these countries amount to nearly 20% of global cereal grain production. Many bakeries and factories may struggle to obtain the necessary ingredients to make bread, leading to a potential shortage in 2023. And there's been a rumor about these things happening. Okay, so bread, sunflower, and palm oil. And sunflower and palm oil, especially sunflower oil, is in damn near everything.
Mm.
Especially a lot of these processed foods, that you buy. Sunflower oil is there, palm oil as well. According to the Brookings Institute, in 2020, 52% of the global traded sunflower seed and oil came from Ukraine. Look at that. It came from Ukraine, the bread basket of the world. Currently, edible oil supply chains are disrupted and edible oil prices increase even higher than cereal prices, the research group. So oil prices are higher. And those are one of the, if you go into Sirach, I believe it's the 38th chapter, it tells you about how oil, right, also flour, salt, water are necessary for the use of man. Okay. Champagne. Okay. So alcohol. As Mash also recently pointed out, climate change greatly impacted the production of champagne. Right. And they're going to blame also the climate lockdowns, the climate change. They've been prepping you people for these things, the different natural disasters, which they're going to artificially create or use them as excuse to bring in lockdowns, as an excuse to tell you can't eat this type of food. You got to stop eating meat, meaning it might not be as easily accessible the next year. So champagne, beer, canned food, and pet food. A notable aluminum shortage,
Mm.
which began in 2020 and affects beers, canned food, and pet food, is still happening, as reported by Orlando. The television station also recently indicated that labor shortages, the scamdemic, the ongoing supply chain crisis, and increased demand are all to blame. So it's the perfect storm, right? This is going to be a thing in the past. You going to the grocery store and you filling up, with everything you need. You got your Coke, you got your cereal, like your breaded chicken tenders. You already know that got flour, oil, right? And these things are shortages. You got your canned goods, shortages. Okay, all these things are going to be shortages. Lettuce is going to be. I'm just going to kind of just move through these. I'm just going to read them. Lettuce is they're saying that lettuce is going to be a shortage. Okay. In November of 2022, as reported by the Consumer Price Index, the price of lettuce went up nearly 20% compared to 2021. Many customers current difficulty finding lettuce in grocery stores. See that? Corn, that's a staple. Okay. It says another product item that you might see less of this year is corn, As Eat This, Not That reports that Midwestern corn crops endured a brutal 2022 season full of sweltering temperatures, intense storms, and harmful pests. And remember those last year, those supply chains, not supply chains, excuse me, which that's true, but the food processing plants that were just blowing up, right? It kind of went quiet now. You don't really hear too much about it, but a lot of those food processing plants, okay, they just blew up. So that's going to affect the future crop. Okay. Corn, oranges, orange juice. Okay. Thanks to Hurricane Ian's major devastating blow in Florida's back in 2000 and back in September 2022. And this is all part of the climate change. Okay. So-called many orange trees were ruined from the storm. Okay. Beef. And you Americans love your beef. In 2022, many American ranchers and farms faced all kinds of difficulties due to record-breaking weather events. Right? Remember, it was like so many thousand cattle just died. Right? Eat This, Not That reports Texas, which is the nation's largest beef producer, experienced an extreme drought for much of the summer season. Many ranchers were forced to sell off a sizable amount of their cattle earlier than expected, which caused slaughter levels to escalate in the second half of the year. Okay. Olive oil. Okay. Infant formula.
Mm-hmm.
Remember that infant formula shortage? People were bugging the hell out. A lot of women, they have their children, their babies on formula. Because whether the baby can't latch, whether they're not producing milk, or they're just a demon. Because breastfeeding a child, that takes a lot of work from the mother. I mean, the baby is pretty much attached to the mother at the hip. The mother can't really do nothing. And you women are working women, right? Sir Kingston ketchup. Rice. Oh, that's rice. Sriracha. Let's read rice. If you frequently enjoy cooking up a nice stir fry like we do, there may be bad news on the horizon. See, according to the crazy coupon lady, we could have rice shortages heading our way for the second half of 2023. Sriracha, and then sugar. Sugar's a big one. Sugar's in everything. So let's hit some more scriptures. What you got? You got the Sirach?
Yep.
Let's hit that.
Sirach 39:28, it says, there be spirits that are created for vengeance, which in their fury lay on sore strokes. In the time of destruction, they pour out their force and appease the wrath of him that made them.
And famine is a spirit. It's a spirit of vengeance. Because why would the Most High destroy you with famine? The Most High will actually cast a certain spirit out there where there's no food. Okay. Go ahead.
It says fire and hail and famine and death. All these were created for vengeance.
Read that again.
Fire and hail and famine.
Look at that.
And death.
Fire, hail, famine, and death. All these were created for vengeance.
Mm-hmm.
Read that again.
It says fire and hail and famine and death. All these were created for vengeance.
Yeah, all these were created for vengeance. And the Most High is getting ready to bring that famine of bread and water, as well as the famine of the word too. Because see, when there is no food, you're gonna seek for answers. Because you've been hearing us talk about it. You Israelites been hearing us talk about there's going to be a famine, but you didn't take heed because the full storehouses are still stocked up. You can still go make you a peanut butter and jelly sandwich. You people that like sandwiches, huh? Go get you some lunch meat. Go get you some bread. It's all you can go to the store. There's all type of bread, literally, all type of bread. Different type. You want the Ezekiel bread. You want the the Dave's bread. You want the sourdough loaves? There's bakeries. You can go to a bakery, get you a nice, freshly made roll. Open that bad boy up, put some mayo, some mustard, throw some provolone cheese, throw the what is it called? The turkey, the roasted turkey, put the lettuce, tomatoes, put the pickles, the onions, the vinegar, the oil, right? Roasted bell peppers if you like to get fancy. Roasted tomatoes if you like to get fancy, right? And then you got your bag, and you can get you a bag of chips. Go to the chip section, right? Go to the chip section. There's 1,000 flavors. And fuck it, you didn't even got to make the sandwich. You can go to an actual sandwich spot, and they'll make it for you. Put the olives on it like you like, right? And you in heaven. Eat that sandwich, you good, you smiling. Get you a little cookie afterwards. Got your little Diet Coke, right? It was just a quick little lunch. And then you back to work. Well, it's gonna come a time where it ain't gonna be none of that. There is. Well, we just read about there's gonna be them shortages. Okay, that flour shortage. Okay, because of the so-called Ukraine war, the grain. Okay, sugar, oil. Okay, can't can goods. Go ahead, bro.
It says, fire and hail and famine and death, all these were created for vengeance. Teeth
Go
of
ahead.
wild beasts and scorpions, serpents, and the sword punishing the wicked to destruction. They shall rejoice in his commandment, and they shall be ready upon earth when need is. And when their time is come, they shall not transgress his word.
See, and these things are actual spirits. They're going to rejoice. That spirit of famine is going to rejoice over you, seeing you suffer.
Mm-hmm.
Gonna be an actual angel. And you and your children. And that's going to, Esau knows this, that's going to lead you into taking the MOTB. If you take the MOTB, guess what? There's food. It might not be the food that you want, but hey, that bug power bar, that shit gonna hit. Okay, that impossible meat, that shit gonna hit. Okay, and Esau, he gonna have French fries for you. Gonna have mashed potatoes. Freeze dried green beans. Okay, and you're gonna be whipping it up, but you're gonna have to have that MOTB.
Mm-hmm.
But see, on the other hand, the remnant elect, the Most High is gonna take care of the remnant elect. Shit, the Lord, I'm eating straight chicken breasts, roasted potatoes, garlic. You know what I mean? Hey, who knows? Lamb, wine, couscous salad. You got the pita bread. You eating Mediterranean in a famine. How you eating Mediterranean with all the fixings in a famine? That's the power of Yahweh Shemal Shai. That's what's going to be upon his elect only. And that's also going to make the elect men superstars. That's going to make them precious to be able to actually create food. Okay? Say it hasn't happened. Well, the Lord did it. Right? With the fish and the bread, he created wine out of water.
Mm-hmm.
So maybe you got a pool of stagnant water. You can, boom, hit it. Pure wine. Okay, or a pure watermelon juice. Like, how did the season of watermelon? There hasn't been watermelon in the whole year.
Mm-hmm.
The crop failed. Tells you that in 2 Ezra 15 how the farmers they shall wail because the crop shall fail. Those that till the land because of the blasting. Okay, different diseases. There's gonna be cattle diseases, just like in ancient Egypt. which these things are already. The cool thing about it is already here, but see, it's not in its perfection yet. Okay, you done on that one?
Yep, I had one.
Okay, go ahead.
Lamentations 4:9. They that be slain with the sword are better than they that be slain with hunger.
Yeah, go into it.
And that's going into what the spirit had me speaking about earlier. You know, you might eat something that's rotten, you know, and you hope, well, you might even, you might even want to, I'm gonna just read it again. It says, they that be slain with the sword are better than they that be slain with hunger. And Revelation spoke about they shall seek death and not find it, which was talking about something else regarding a different time period. But nonetheless, we coming into a time where you're gonna seek death and not find it. Your body is gonna be stripped of all, it's gonna be stripped of nutrients, stripped of the things that it needs to function, and the Lord is gonna keep your spirit in your body. But what it's saying is that you better off dying by the sword. You better off just outright just dying by the sword, getting shot, getting your head chopped off, however it may be. You better off dying like that. You know, you might see somebody that lived, they got the oldest man Guinness World Record, whatever, and you see that person, they might as well be dead. You literally can't even do nothing. You can't talk, you can't do nothing. You just alive. You old as hell when you alive. You know. Now there's a glory that comes with being older in age, but that's no glory to that, man. You know, the Lord keeping your spirit in a body that's incapable of you literally can't do nothing. It says, for these pine away, stricken through for the wants for the want of the fruits of the field. So that pine away, when you go into pine away, it describes it as I don't mean to be graphic, but as how a woman gets her period. She doesn't just, it don't all just come out, man. It's a slow leak. So what that's saying is that you're dying slow every day. You're literally dying slow every day through what your body goes through a process of what's called autophagy, which means self-eating. So your body it is literally gonna start eating itself. I believe it starts with the fat, then it goes to the muscles, then it goes to the organs. If I'm not incorrect, but you're literally slowly going away, man. To the point where you ain't gonna be able to move. It's gonna require, you moving right now, you being able to walk somewhere, that them days gonna be over with, man. That's going the amount of energy is gonna require you to even get up. You ain't gonna have that energy, you know. So you better off dying with the sword than to have to go through a painful death like that.
Mm-hmm.
I had Second Esdras 8 and 50 as well.
Yeah, yeah. Go ahead. Yep, get that one.
Second Esdras 8 and 50, it says, for many great miseries shall be done to them that in the latter time shall dwell in the world, because they have walked in great pride.
And famine is one of those great. That's a great misery
Mm-hmm.
to be in a place like America where there's food in excess. Like right now, we go to we go to Arizona. Like right now, we get on a plane, we go to Arizona. There's food in Arizona. We go to Missouri. There's nothing but restaurants. There's nothing but supermarkets, and with all type of food. We go to Florida. Okay, all type of restaurants, all type of grocery stores. Okay, now here in California, you got a lot. Now you got people selling food out of their homes, which has always been happening. But I guess they kind of relaxed the laws to where people now are trapping food out of their homes. Like restaurants out of their homes. Okay, so there you go. There's hella food anywhere you go. There's gonna be New York. You go to New York, you can go to some of the finest dining. You go to one of your favorite restaurants. You can eat that same. They have that same meal there, whether it's a particular burger, the big Western burger. Them niggas they still whipping it up right now. Carl's Jr., the double, what is it, double Junior? I don't know. I haven't ate that shit since years. What, 10, 12 years? I don't even know. The Baconator. The double cheeseburger, the crispy chicken. what you people are addicted to. The cook go to Safeway, go to one of these grocery stores, go to the cookie section. It's about 20 different cookies. Got the Oreos, and you got the different flavor Oreos, and then you got the chocolate chip cookies, you got the chocolate mint cookies, and you got the chocolate covered cookies, and you got the strawberry cookies, and then you got the figs, the fig Newtons, fig bars, right? You go to the protein, you want a protein bar, it's 20 different protein bars, right? You want a kombucha, there's 20 different kombuchas. Oh, don't go into the ice cream section. It's all type of ice cream, all type of different flavors. Okay, from different brands, as well as ice cream, little balls. You got icicles, ice cream sandwiches.
Mm-hmm.
You get the little personal pint. If you depressed, you just go get you one. That's gonna make you happier. Then you can go to sleep. Oh, then you got your vodka, you got your beer, you got your wine. Go to the wine section, it's all type of wine. Go to the tequila section, it's all type of tequila. The vodka. What do you want? Gin. You want some dry gin? You want to go to the beer section, all type of beers. You know what? You don't have to go to the store. Go online. Them niggas will they'll deliver to you. You don't at this point in the game, you don't even have to you don't have to leave your house. You can go on the app and have them bring it to you. Okay. Was you done on that?
Yeah, I was done on this.
Okay. You had another precept. I wanted to get Ezekiel.
No, I didn't have another precept. I was just gonna make a quick comment on, it says, because they have walked in great pride. The scripture that we read earlier says, these are sent for scourges of amendment, and they're so far gone in their pride that when these things are happening, you're not even gonna think about, you're not even gonna, like the brother said earlier, you're not gonna equate it to this is what my actions have brought me. This is what sin has brought me. You so far from the Lord, that's not even gonna cross your mind, unless the Lord puts you through a situation where they have a saying, your life flashed before your eyes. Yeah, the Lord showed you that wickedness he was into, man. But that's one of it in itself. But just regular, just solely them, just default Babylonian. They're not worried about the Lord, man. They too far gone in their pride. You walked in great pride. That's why when these things is happening, like the brother said. But yeah, I'm not gonna keep beating the dead horse. You got it.
Yeah, can you get Ezekiel 5?
And one.
Let me see. I mean, yeah, you can start. Let's actually start at 16. Let's just go to the point.
Okay. Ezekiel 5 and you said 16?
Yeah.
Ezekiel 5 and 16, when I shall send upon them the evil arrows of famine.
Yeah, and this was talking about Jake. The Most High did it to you Israelites, but this is also going to apply to America and really the whole world. Those are evil arrows of famine. The Most High is sending it upon you, and He's going to use Esau, Edom, as well as different climate actions. Natural disasters, breaking down supply chains. It's going to be artificially, and the Most High is going to use Esau, Edom to do it. And they're talking heads are telling that this is what's going to happen. The different elite, they're telling that there's going to be food shortages. Okay, people write articles about it. But is this on the forefront? Because if they were blasting this like they blast all the madness on mainstream media, people the stores will be empty. People would be run into the stores in panic. So famine is definitely not on the mind of the people. Famine is not on none of the minds of these people. Only very few people know, the men in the knowledge, and then those that are in the on the left hand side as well that know it's coming. but they have the resources. They understand a lot of them are participating in it being, being like this. Okay, they're in on the agenda. So they already got food storages, stocked up for a couple of years to withstand a famine. You niggas don't got that. You niggas is done. Okay, a lot of you eat you order DoorDash every day, damn day, 3 times a day, and then walk your big ass to well, not even walk. You don't even walk no more. You have somebody get food from 7-Eleven and bring it to you, set it at your door. Okay, go ahead.
It says, when I shall send upon them the evil arrows of famine, which shall be for their destruction.
See, it's going to be all this. All these things are happening for you people's destruction. Okay, the evil arrows of famine. Go ahead.
And it says, in which I will send to you to destroy you.
See, I will send to you to destroy you. The Lord did this to Jake back in the day. Okay, and Jake didn't hearken. Meaning our people, they didn't hearken to this, to the words of the prophet to Ezekiel. The Lord even said in 2 and 3 how they're not going to listen to you. But these are the judgments of Yahweh Shai. The one who's actually bringing the famine is not going to be Esau. Esau is just he's just a puppet in the whole grand scheme of things. Okay, he's the sword of the Most High. He's physically breathing on the earth, but who's manipulating things behind the scenes is Yahweh Shai. The spirit of vengeance is going to come upon you Babylonians. Oh man, you Edomites, you're going to be finished. And at certain times you're going to be able to pay for those exorbitant amount, the high inflation foods. But it's going to come a point to where you're not going to be able to pay for anything. You're going to have to get in on the system as well. You're going to have to take the MOTB as well. And you're going to take it. A lot of people, you people that say you ain't going to take it, you're going to take it because it's going to be a famine. Okay? It's going to be a big attitude change. You ain't going to have people walking around with stiff neck pride. Their head in the air. These women's head in the air. These men's head in the air. Nah, they're gonna be having that sad puppy dog look on their face. That hungry look. You see like a hungry dog. The dog, he ain't barking. He ain't trying to bite you. He hungry. Right? Because there's a certain hey, brothers being on fast, right? That's why the Lord be having us on fast. That's not a pleasant time. That's hell. That's pure hell. Okay, you not being able to eat or drink. You hating life. You literally hating life. You ain't trying to talk to nobody. Then your energy starts to diminish. Your mind starts to slow down. You're not fast on your feet. You just want to lay down. You don't want to walk around. So these people are not going to even have the strength to go out and try to find food. And then again, they're not going to even know the knowledge of the different herbs to eat as well. Because to them, it's all bullshit. Okay? They're not going to know dandelion and plankton. And, they're not going to know that. Regardless, none of those things, even if you did know it, none of those things are going to save you. Because you're going to be so hungry, you're not going to be able to go out there to find the food. Oh, by the way, there's going to be lockdowns. And it's going to be marauders. It's going to be cannibals. You're not going to just be roaming up and down the street. Okay? It's going to be a dark time. Okay? You're not going to have social media. Oh, but you're going to have all those videos in your phone if you have some electricity to see when you was eating food. Women take pictures of their food after they, when it comes in, take a picture of the plate. You're going to be reminiscing on them plates. Them enchiladas. You're going to lament. Go ahead.
It says, and I will increase the famine upon you and will break your staff of bread.
See, the Lord is going to increase the famine upon. We're actually already in a famine. The shortages, that's a famine. But the Lord said He's going to increase the famine upon you. So there's going to come a time to where, it's going to be shortages and it's going to be tough, but you still going to have food. But then it's slowly you're going to pine away, basically. Like the brother was going into. The food is going to, over time, it's just going to diminish. That bag of rice, that big, you had a 10-pound bag of rice, it's going to be 9 pounds. It's going to be 8 pounds. It's going to be 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, until you ain't got nothing left. And nobody else got anything left.
Mm-hmm.
Now you got to eat your baby. Oh, we also, it's going to be hell for these babies, because they're not used to getting milk from their mother's breast. They're used to formula, right? And bro, that's like one of the worst things to hear, is a baby cry because they're hungry. That, like, as a parent, that like messes your head up.
Mm-hmm. It's a sharp screech.
That literally, because the baby literally needs to eat, and then the mother, she's not. These women be having problems. The baby can't latch. You just got to work it. You just got to work. You got to work it, and then the baby will latch. And there's different techniques to use as well. But use a bottle too. If you pump the milk out, use a bottle. It's ways around that. But see, these women, they have their babies on formula. So now they're tied into the system. So when there's a formula, what's it called? What is it? Shortage. Excuse me. I'm. When there's a formula shortage, which in that article was saying that there's a formula shortage. Let's read that a little bit. Let's read that part. Give me a second, and then we're gonna pretty much close it up. But let's read that part right here. Infant formula. In February of last year, Abbott, the U.S. largest infant formula manufacturer, the Daily Mail notes that they make Similac, Alimentum, Elicare temporary stop production and issued a massive recall when they discovered bacteria at the facility. See, so there can be formula, but then it can be polluted. CNBC reports by May 2022, a full-on shortage was happening. We've seen it. You remember that? With more than 40% of the usual stock unavailable. So there was still a stock, but 40% of the stock was unavailable. That's almost half. Okay. So you have Moabites, they'll go in there and they'll buy they'll literally buy out all the formula. They won't leave no other formula for nobody else. You've seen people getting in fights. So there's 40 formulas left. They'll go in there and they'll buy all the formula. Leave nobody else formula. So infant formula. So these babies gonna catch pure hell, man. They're gonna catch pure hell during that day. And the mother, she's not producing milk. Oh yeah, by the way, the mother's not even eating. So how can she produce milk? Mm-hmm. So it's a perfect. That's why it's gonna be a lot of mourning. Okay, in Babylon, a lot of mourning around the world. There's gonna be an attitude adjustment. Okay, when that famine comes, when your ass ain't eating, that's hell. You haven't ate for 3 days. Okay, and it's not like you're on a fast. Okay, I know there's food there. I'm just not gonna eat it because I want to, for a spiritual reason, or I'm doing a detox, whatever it may be. No. You're not fasting by choice. There's no food.
Right.
And your little ones, there's no food for your little. So the little one, they can't take it. Your woman, she can't take it. She gonna line her ass up at the MOTB chipping station, and she gonna take the kid, and she gonna curse your ass out. Okay, remember Lot's wife? She looked back. Why? Because what? Sodom. You already know they had all type of food. And they had all type of they had good food too. None no bogus shit. They was eating good.
Mm.
Okay, wine, all that strong parties. Okay, and it tells you that in Tobit. Let me let me read that in Tobit. Let me read that in Tobit really quickly. Yep, this is Tobit 4:13. Now, therefore, my son, love thy brethren and despise not in thy heart thy brethren, the sons and daughters of thy people, and not taking a wife of them. For in pride is destruction and much trouble, and in lewdness is decay and great want. For lewdness is the mother of famine.
Mm.
It's not America a very lewd place? We'll go outside. Men, they ain't got no clothes on. They got the hoochie daddy shorts, no shirt on, right? Women, oh, forget about her. She's showing ass and titties and more. Okay, you better not look at her too long, or she gonna curse you out. But she got everything out. So you see the backwards. You see the famine gotta come, and that's going completely. It's gonna be attitude adjustment. For a lot of you, it's different. The famine's coming so you can be destroyed. It ain't coming so you can get right. It's coming for you to be destroyed.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. You finish on that? I think it's a little more. No.
Yes, one more verse. It says, "So will I send upon you famine and evil beasts." And they
Famine.
shall,
Oh, famine and evil beasts. Because what? Those evil beasts, they gonna be in a state of famine too, and you're gonna be a walking state. See, look, you see, man's right here. He gonna be roaming, and him and his boys, they're gonna be roaming into these cities. The Lord gonna send them. The Lord's actually gonna send them, as well as newly created beasts.
mm-hmm.
They gonna come. They gonna gobble your ass up. I saw a video. Um, I believe it was on Instagram the other day where a nigga woman. It was a dude and a woman, and the dude's dogs. They attacked the nigga woman.
Mm.
They was tearing her ass up. Bull type shit, you know. And those dog attacks, man, those are very gruesome attacks. The dog don't just have the power just to kill you instantly. It just tears and rips you apart. One dog is ripping this limb, the other dog ripping that limb. That's a terrible way to go. So the Lord will not only he gonna send and increase famine upon you, he gonna also send the wild beasts upon you. What they gonna do? They gonna gobble your ass up. Go ahead.
Mm-hmm. It says, "And they shall bereave thee, and pestilence and blood shall pass through thee,
Mm,
and I will bring the sword upon thee.
mm.
I, the Lord Yahweh Bahashem Yahweh Shai, have spoken it."
See that? So these are not our word. We not making this up because we just distraught Negroes, mean about like we mad. Let's curse people out and tell them there's gonna be a famine. Nah, bro. This the Lord Yahweh Shema Shai has said this. Okay, and He's brought famine in the past. So what makes you think? What makes you think America, which is the worst and most wicked place that's ever been created, that's ever been in power? You think, and it's super lewd, and that's the mother. Famine is the mother. Lewdness is the mother of famine. It's super lewd. Look at the adult industry. The adult movies, the adult videos on the internet, pornographia in the Greek, right? That's the most watched content on the internet.
Mm.
Okay, so this is a real sick, demonic, nasty place. And you got the younger generation coming up. Hey, they being told they can, you know, little 8-year-old boys are being told they can get blowjobs. Excuse my French, and they're putting it in these school books. Their first experience. They at the age of 10, at the age of 8, at the age of 9. Timmy and Tom. You know, so Yahweh Shemashah is going to send a great famine upon this place, and it's going to be a real attitude adjustment for you Israelites. Some are going to come to repentance. Most going to be destroyed. Okay. Unless you add anything else, brother, we're going to wrap it up.
Nah, that was pretty much it.
God, hey, until next time, shalom to the elect.
Shalom.